Okay, we're going to work on triangle pose. So you're going to want 2 blocks or a kettlebell, something that you can push down onto the floor that will lift you up off the floor. First thing we're going to do is do the position on our backs. So lie down. Take your left leg out straight. And see what I'm doing with my foot there? We're not going to point our toes. We're going to flex them. So pull your toes towards your face. Tuck your tailbone under. So lengthen your spine. So tailbone tucked under. There we go. So we don't have much of an arch in our back. Take this right leg straight up. See if we can make a straight line. You can point this toe. Then we're going to turn it ballerina style. Turn it out. So your big toe, when it's not turned out, might be pointed straight up. Turn it out. So that big toe is kind of pointed towards the right a bit. Okay? Use your strength to hold this position. You might be here. That's fine. Okay? The point isn't to make this shape, it's to make straight legs if we can. Point your toes out, take it out to the side under your own strength. We're seeing if we can use the strength of our legs, strength of our core, to hold these 2 legs straight and keep pushing into them. So it might not look like this. You might have your leg up here, it might be here. Either way, we want this hip turned out, externally rotated, and we're going to hold it there. So if I were to stand up and tilt myself, I'd be in a triangle pose supported by the floor. We're just going to teach our body what we want to do without the support of the floor. So we're teaching our muscles to hold it. Good? We'll do the other side. So this is your warm up for the position. So I want you to do this before every time you're practicing this pose when you're working on it as a position to get better at. Straighten out your right leg. Again, flex your toes on the right leg, don't point them. Lift your left leg, point those toes. Okay, I'm going to be ballerinas now. So at the moment, my left toes are pointed like straight up. I've got a straight line between my big toe and my inner thigh down here. Then I'm going to get my hip, turn it out at the hip. So now I can see my left heel has kind of come in. Instead of being behind my ankle, I can see my left heel and my left toes have turned out. So ballerina, turn out. Take this leg under your own steam, under your own power, out to the side. It might not get this high, it might not get this low. We're working on pushing into our legs to keep them straight. So really powerfully extending our legs, teaching our bodies that this is the position we want to get into when we're supported. So we want to be able to make it ourselves. We don't want to rely on gravity and the floor to push ourselves into a position of mobility. We want our body to be able to do it. So this is our warm-up. Yes, you might get hip cramp, like here. It's no fun. Good. Lovely. Shake out. We are then going to come to standing. Legs apart, wider than hip distance. Then we're going to come back to we're going to do it on our right side first. So turn your right toes out. So right toes are pointing completely away from you. And then this left foot is pointing forwards. So if we look down, we've got like kind of like an L shape with our feet. So this right heel is in line with this back heel. Yeah? Good. Okay. So this is the same thing that we did on the floor. We're then going to push our hips back, like we're pushing these hips back towards this left heel. Take your hand down, hold onto your shin, take your arm overhead. That's it. This is our first pose. We might only be able to get here. You might need a little bit of a bend in this knee. Try and get less of a bend in this knee. And we are going to hold on wherever we need to hold on with this hand. So shin is a good option. You get to hold it while I tell you this. You can get 1 block, or you can get 2 blocks, or you can get a kettlebell and put it here, hold onto the handle and push down into it. So this is instead of holding onto your leg, you can push into a block. And the act of pushing down helps you lift up. So don't let these legs just kind of stand on the floor. Actively push down into the floor, just like when you do a deadlift or any kind of lift. We want to push down to lift out. So we're working on pushing into the floor to straighten these legs. Push down into your toes. Balls of your big foot. Don't grip the floor with your toes. I should probably have said push into the ball of your foot rather than your toes. It's just me getting my body parts wrong. Ball of your foot. Don't grip the floor with your toes. Eventually, we're trying to aim to get this hand, I don't know if I can do it today, palm on the floor and lifting up. but wherever we are today is fine. It might be ankle, it might be shin, it might be the blocks. This is where we're going. Let's come out of it. Opposite side. So line your heels up, straight legs, push your hips diagonally back towards this back knee, a little bit like in a Turkish get-up. Hold on to what you're holding on to, so grab your bell, grab your block or blocks, grab your shin, take this right arm up. You want your palm, I should have said this on the other side, remember it for next time, you want your palm facing forward, so our palm isn't facing behind us, look up. Your palm should be facing the same way that your face is facing. Okay, thumb pointing towards your head. Hold on to what you're holding on to, and then push down into it to lift up. So you might feel a stretch here, you probably feel a stretch in your legs. Push down into the balls of your feet. See if you can get your shoulders out of your ears. So relax these muscles here, the ones that get tight and you always need a massage in. Try and relax them. Tuck your chin if you need to help with that. And then our aim at some points over your project of working on this position is to see if we can get legs straight. See if I can do it on this side, I have no idea. Palm flat on the floor, it could look prettier. But wherever we get to today, wherever we get to eventually is perfectly fine. Come out of that. We're going to extend on that because why not? Come back to your first side. This time, take your blocks, definitely take your blocks for the first time we do it. Come back to your triangle position. Turn your hips so you're almost facing your front leg. So this right leg, I'm almost going to face my right leg. This time I'm going to take my left hand onto the blocks or the bell handle. I'm definitely not taking it to the floor, but if you can reach the floor, go for your life. We're then going to twist this triangle. So this time it's left hand on the floor, right palm, opening out. So we are twisting. Balls of your feet down. You probably need a bit more of a bend in this front knee, but if you find that you're putting all of your weight in your front leg, we need to push back. So see if you can push back into this, which is this left hip. This is what we're going to look like. If it's too much to have your arm straight, take your hand to the base of your spine, like fingers pushing down, like pointing down towards the floor. And we can just stay here. Push your right hip back, pull your left hip forwards. So we've got a little twist in our pelvis to help straighten us. Hold that and breathe. We're going to do the other side. So we'll go through this pose a few times. I'll go through all these once. You can watch this as many times as you need to understand. And then the aim of this is that you practice on your own and you get better. Triangle shape, blocks to the inside of your left foot. This time we're going to take our hips, turn them towards the front leg, towards the left. Right hand to your blocks or to your kettlebell handle. Slight bend in this front knee, especially if you tend to be overly flexible. Tiny bend in this front leg so we're not locking it out and overextending. If you're hypermobile, gentle bend, tiny bend. So it just takes it from there, where it looks like it's kind of almost going backwards, tiny little bend. You might just completely disregard everything I said because you are the opposite of hypermobile and you can't straighten that leg. Wherever you are, it's fine. Right hand to the floor. Twist these hips so you're pulling this right hip forwards, push your left hip back. Take your left palm to the base of your spine. Twist, look over your left shoulder. Take your hand, arm up if you can. Remember we're pushing down to lift up. Strong legs. If you can't keep your arm up here, take your hand to the base of your spine and twist that way. Work on getting your arm up again. The palm is facing the same way that your face is facing. So we haven't got palm facing back like that, it's facing forwards. Good. Coming out of it, hold each of those positions aim for about 30 seconds. So 30 seconds in the prep poses, 30 seconds for each of the normal forwards facing triangles. And then 30 seconds for the twisted triangles. Okay, enjoy. Triangle.